and so did South Carolina.
Yeah.
But NC State.
I just can't get in. I just can't get into the College World Series. I don't know why. I just can't get into it. I'm like, I don't understand why I don't like. But you know what I found yesterday? I was digging through my cards, my rookie cards. Found 2 Trevor Story rookies yesterday.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was awesome. I was like, holy crap!
Why are we talking about this before we get to recording?
What?
I said we can start before this is the pre-show show. It's recording anyway.
But I got no idea. Like I just don't follow college baseball that much. I think Gators. I'll follow them this weekend and how it's going to be for them to beat FSU. But
what's Trevor Story's story?
He's pretty good.
We should have like a picture of him in back since we're the ones that discovered him.
Yeah, we should. And Corey Seager, man, he's starting to tear it up. Have you seen
Corey
him?
Seager became the second player to hit 15 home runs, shortstop, as his rookie year prior to the All-Star break.
Who's the first? Pee Wee?
Nope.
Cal Ripken?
Do you know who it is?
Larkin? Jeter?
I'll go Larkin.
Larkin?
No. Rookie year,
Oh, that's good.
most home runs prior to the All-Star break was Nomar Garciaparra
Oh!
with 13.
When
But I did say when Corey Seager did it, he became the third.
He did become third. He said he became third, so his second.
So who was the second? Nomar was the first.
I think he said Seager was second.
Seager was third.
Nomar was the first. You said Jeter wasn't one of them because he didn't.
Jeter was
A-Rod.
No.
I don't know.
Was it your boy in St. Louis?
Nope.
He didn't hit any home runs.
Trevor Story.
Trevor Story.
Oh.
Trevor Story did it,
trick
and then
story.
Corey Seager did it a week later.
That was a trick story. Trick story. Well, we've been rolling
But
for a
it's-
while, so
Really?
yeah, we've been rolling. So we just
but-
kind of jumped in right in the middle
Okay,
of it.
that's fine. That's fine.
That's good, but that just shows you it's kind of ironic that the 2 biggest power hitting rookie shortstops in history are playing right now.
2 of the 3, yeah.
No, 2 of the 2.
2 of the 2.
They've left Nomar in the dirt.
Yeah.
One of them's 3 ahead of Nomar, and the other's already 2 ahead of Nomar.
Seager's
and
got
there's still
hot.
a month to go before the All-Star game.
Same amount of games played. That's not Nomar when he came up early? Did Nomar start
I don't know
the
how
season?
much Omar. It's just home runs before the All-Star break, your rookie season. I don't know. I'm sure. I don't know. I don't remember Nomar.
Coming up mid-season?
No, and as a matter of fact, that was one of the
I remember.
one of the coolest things I think I ever got to do in 1997, right before the season started. Vanity Fair did a photo shoot. Okay,
Of Nomar?
did a photo shoot of unknown players supposedly, and it was all these up and coming rookies, and they met in Lakeland at the old ballpark because they wanted the antique kind of looking thing.
Oh, the
And
old ballpark?
The old ballpark in Lakeland.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and
Not the new facility.
not the new facility,
The old.
the one right on, is it Memorial Boulevard?
Yeah,
right there on
the one that looks like they should have filmed The Natural there.
That's exactly it. And they did film
Long gone, you said.
Long Gone there. No,
A
not
very
Long
under-
Gone. Not Long Gone. Yes, Long Gone.
Long Gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's
The
one of
Virginia
the most-
Madsen movie,
One of the most underrated baseball films ever.
Long Gone.
No, it's great. It's great. The baseball.
What was the
is
one
real.
with the Braves? That was Slugger's wife.
Slugger's wife. Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't
No.
seen either of those, so there you
Long
go.
Gone's a great movie. It really
So
is
get
good.
this. So
William Peterson from CSI.
we're in Vieira, over in Melbourne, and got a request to do this photo shoot and everything. And Levon Hernandez was one of the rising rookies to be, and he got invited to do it. And we didn't know what was, a photo shoot for Vanity Fair of the rookies of. Okay, so I show up, and ironically, here's another one. Okay, Scott Rowland, Nomar Garciaparra, Levon Hernandez, and I can't think of the 4th, and then I do remember the 5th, and the 5th is still playing today.
Really? Who's that?
Bartolo Colon
Oh, wow. Bartolo Colon in Vanity Fair?
in Vanity Fair. In Vanity Fair
spread.
20 years ago.
That was back when he was...
In
The
20 years.
three-page spread.
So get this. So we show up, and It's like, all this kind of stuff. And they've got Calvin Klein T-shirts and Calvin Klein tops, wife beater shirts, and Calvin Klein underwear. And they want the pictures of these guys like sitting on a baseball field, and each photo literally took about 45 minutes or an hour to prepare. And we were thinking we're going to go there, our photo shoot and back. We were there from 8 in the morning. We got on the bus in Vieira, actually a van, and the van picked us up and everything. And I went with him because he needed a translator. And it was neat getting to meet these guys. And the other was Dimitri Young.
The meat hook.
Oh, it was a 4-page spread.
Dimitri had the braces with all these little color rubber bands, I remember. But they were all just, Scott Rowland, actually Nomar Garciaparra, two Rookie of the Years.
Yeah.
They did a pretty good job of picking the 5 rookies.
They did.
The World Series MVP for that year. And but it was one of my first opportunities to be around players from different teams instead of just my team. And I was the only PR guy that went with my guy because everyone else, I guess,
so you became the PR.
So I became the guy for the 5 of them, and they're getting whatever, and one of them would tell them to hurry up, and I'd go, hey, is this thing going to speed up and everything? But it was in Lakeland, in underwear, and
that's the
tank
visual
tops.
I
And
want.
they didn't know.
Thanks.
They didn't
Bartolo
know.
in his underwear.
The thing was, they didn't know what this it was going to be a photo. But
and
the fact that it was
those
for
pictures
Vanity
are
Fair,
still on. Those pictures
we
are
should
still.
Google it right now. Vanity Fair, 1997,
All right,
probably April.
We're gonna
put
dip out of
ourselves
the
on
screen.
hold.
No, we're gonna keep going. I'm gonna dip out of the screen and I'm gonna see if
If it's in there. Vanity Fair, I want to say June or so. Nah, it wouldn't have been April of 97.
Or March. April. This should be April. Yeah.
So Trevor Story,
Vanity Fair 1987.
Vanity Fair, 1997.
Well, no, I'm
baseball rookie issue.
Corey Seager.
Okay.
I mean, he got up to a pretty good start. And he kind of plateaued out, and they were like, and all of a sudden
Well, he had. Did you see the? I know I love to pick on you and
That's
you
all
and
right.
Eddie there.
That's all right.
Became the. Is it there?
Well, you can buy it on eBay for $10.
Baseball's rookies. Look up that. You can buy it.
You can buy it for $10.
Is there photos?
go to Bing.
No, here's the thing. Corey, second player ever to hit 5 home runs against the Braves in a 3-game series. And the first was Barry Bonds.
Well, that does not surprise me at all.
So he's joined some pretty decent company. Am I good? Did I recall my 5? How'd I do recalling my 5?
I can't find them. Liv Tyler's in it though, so it can't
She
be
was
a bad
not.
issue.
She wasn't there.
She wasn't
I would.
there.
I would have
Tyler,
remembered
yeah,
that.
I remember her being there. Yeah.
I would have remembered if Liv Tyler was there. This show is going nowhere this week.
It's okay. We're just entertaining, tens of
LSU
people.
made it last team into the Super Regionals.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll have to look at it. Maybe try to find it.
During
I don't
the
think it's worth $10, but maybe we try to find it during break. Yes, LSU made it yesterday.
Yep.
It was kind of interesting that they came from behind again, late, rally.
It was. I've always wondered how. I understand the top 8, and then the bottom 8, and the top, and then if one of the top 8 loses, then the bottom 8 guy gets the host. But in this case, it was interesting, and just to see, do they seed every single team? Because I'll tell you what it was LSU was the 1 seed in that region, and Coastal Carolina won the. Which one? Coastal Carolina won the North Carolina
North
State,
Carolina State.
the Raleigh.
Because they were third.
Okay.
They were third, right? Yeah.
They weren't a 3; they were a 2.
Oh, I thought they were 3.
They were the 2 in
Right,
that.
but that doesn't matter.
But here was the whole
seeds
thing:
inside
is
of it.
if LSU won last night, obviously they're the 7 seed, so
Right,
they
would
get to host.
Right.
If Rice, who was the 2 seed, won, then you would think they would go to Raleigh, NC State, but NC State lost it. But
Right.
Coastal Carolina was gonna. If Rice would have won last night, they would have gone to Coastal Carolina, not the other way around. I would have thought the LSU regional is the superior regional if they're both 2 seeds.
So if they're 2 seeds, yeah. I don't know how that works. I would have thought same thing. So
But they said this will either take place in LSU or in Coastal Carolina if Rice wins.
So if you know how it works, let us know because I want to know. I mean, how do they decide?
The only thing I can think of is you go 1 through 16,
Right.
and then you go backwards going back up. So
Which would make sense.
So, you
Yeah.
know, so then the number 17 would be playing number 16.
Right, as
So
the 2 seed.
if you're a number 2 seed on the bottom, you're better than the number 2 seed on the top.
Right, but we all know that the NCAA doesn't seed
That's-
correctly, so they
No.
seed according to what they want to have happen
Yes,
in the second, in the super regionals, and how they want to manage the whole Omaha experience to have teams from every area, not necessarily the 8 best teams.
And the other one that wasn't, for a second, I thought wasn't going to happen at all was the South Carolina Clemson, because they both lost right there out of the gate. But South Carolina came back, so they get to host.
Right,
And they actually steal
Clemson got
Clemson.
worked.
Clemson got worked bad.
So, which goes to show you sometimes that they don't know what they're doing when they do these seedings. You know, there's just there's no. Clemson got hot, but there's no way they should have been. There's no way you should get worked like that. Like they got worked. I mean,
Okay. And
they
here's-
got worked. They didn't just lose; they got beat down.
And I feel bad, and I understand. I mean, it's hard emotionally and everything. You lose a teammate.
Oh, Vandy, yeah. Oh no,
But-
got nothing.
but-
nothing but love for Vandy. I mean, I don't even know how those guys play.
How did Xavier beat them 15-1?
If you lose a teammate who was, I think if I'm
To
correct,
the 4 seed.
I think it was,
I've never
I thought-
seen a 15-1 4 seed beating 1 seed.
No, not that bad. But if I'm correct, I think it was a team outing with a couple. There were a couple of teammates there. There were a few other guys, from what I read, who were out fishing, and this guy decided he was going to swim the length of a bridge in the lake, and one of the other guys jumped in to help him, and then thought he was just goofing off, and left him because he was sort of pushing him away and drowns. So if you have that happen, I don't know how you can even. I mean, baseball doesn't matter at that point.
Mm-hmm.
If you like the kid, and by all means, by all accounts, he was a good teammate, and everybody liked him. You're not thinking about baseball the next day. You're thinking about, oh my gosh, I can't believe this guy's gone. I can't believe he drowned. Yeah, we're going to go out and play, but the first time something starts bad happening, you're just not going to have
13-run 7th inning.
Yeah, you're just not going to have emotionally
That's
ready for that kind of loss. I don't care who you are, 19 to 22-year-olds, 18 to 22-year-olds, you're not prepared for that.
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss wasn't as good as everybody said they were, and that's kind of the same thing. I think they benefited from being an SEC team, and SEC bias got them host, and again, we saw they weren't as good as they thought. And again, with any regional, you're as good as your starting pitching. You have a bad weekend, you're in trouble.
Well, and you lose one game, even on a close one.
Yeah.
You know,
A CNI single, a bad hop.
and then all of a sudden
error?
you've got to go to number 4.
Mm-hmm.
You can have your 3 pitchers, but if you lose one game,
Johnny Holstaff has to pitch that last game.
you got.
And that could be in trouble. And like some of the games, you know, a lot of the teams had trouble with weather. And I think that affects some teams more than it affects others, not having to be able to play, even at Vanderbilt. You know, getting ready to play and then not being able to play and having to play the next day. And then I think
LSU took 3 days to play one game.
I think Vandy had to play 3 games in one day.
Right.
wow.
So, 3 baseball games in one day is an extremely long time, and should never have happened if it did. I don't remember. I went to bed.
I don't know.
I went to bed before the last game. They were trying to decide if they were going to start. It was already 10:30, 10:35 here in Florida, so 9:35 there, and they were trying to decide whether they were going to start the game against UC Santa, the Gauchos.
Right.
I think that's who knocked them out. Was that right?
Yeah.
So they were trying to decide if they were going to play them or not, and I guess they did, because the next day they were playing the finals, and Vanderbilt wasn't in it. So I don't know if that happened at that point, but if it did, that was just ridiculous to make a team play 3 games. in one
AJ
day.
Puck number 1. We're an hour. We're actually filming this not an hour, a day before the draft, so we don't know.
No, I'm going to go no. I'm going to change my mind.
What do you think?
Who's the first pick?
The Phillies.
Phillies.
I can see him going first. You know,
I just
I
don't.
say draft pitching first. I mean myself. I mean, and the Phillies. You know, their turnaround this year has been nothing sort of dramatic. I mean,
Well, but for a month.
for a
I mean,
month,
they have been. They're back where they should
right,
be.
but
and
nobody
they've-
expected it. I mean, and I say go for pitching first. I mean, I can see him going number 1. What do you think?
I just, and it's funny is you look at you look at a player, and when you see him as often as we have with AJ Puck, a lot of the glitter comes off, and you really see a lot. Or you see a guy and you sit there and you go, boy, this guy's really, 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 really good.
Let's hold on to that because we started this way early, and so we're going to be way over time on this segment. So we'll pick up on that. I'll tell you why I don't think AJ Puck's going to be number one when we come back after the break. Remember, play ball. Look us up.